Hello, welcome to a Crochet with Sandy K video. I am Sandy K and I crochet. I am still working on the shirt that I've been working on. I've had to frog it about 35 times. Okay, that might be an exaggeration, but quite a lot. If you hear TV in the background, it's my toddler. He's watching TV. I'm going to try to not get him in the video, but if he does, he does. I'll just let his face. Yeah. But yeah, I had to frog a few times. This is new yarn that I'm not used to working with. So, yeah. Because it is black and very intricate, I can't wear my glasses to see it. Also, it's something I'm gonna wear, so I definitely don't want it to look bad. So I've been really trying to be a perfectionist with it. But yeah, the TV, that's the kid. So yeah, I would just have music on, but you know, YouTube with that, so you just get to hear Cozy Coop, which is a preschool show based on those red and yellow Fisher-Price cars. It's interesting, but he likes it. So, oh really? Yeah. If you've seen any of my other videos, you'll remember me talking about, well, not any of my other videos, but if you saw a video where I was talking about when I got scammed, like for them saying, I'm going to take a picture or paint a picture of you from this video. And then they said, oh, we're going to send you $3,000 and then you just send us back $2,500. Oh my God. It's like I forgot how to do simple math for a second. So that was a great experience. Something that I definitely wanted to experience. I mean, they contacted me to let me know, like, okay, let me back up a little bit. So, if you're not familiar with the story, I was reached out to on TikTok, somebody saying they wanted to paint me an image of me from a video that I recorded. TikTok is also CrochetBySandyK if you're interested, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, so I was like, okay, sure, yeah, you know, like, and then they're like, so we'll pay you $500, and I was just like, thought nothing of it, you know. I was like, okay, that's really generous, but all right, I'll, you know, like, you can pretty much paint me without paying me. Like, I don't really care, but you know, if you're gonna pay me, all right. So then they reach out to me, or they tell me like, all right, well, I'm gonna send you $3,000 and then you just send back the $2,500 and you get to keep $500. Okay. At first, for some reason, I guess it's the hair color, I don't know. Which is, it's like a dirty blonde, so, you know, it's more light brown, I guess, I don't know. But anyway, blonde moment is basically what I'm trying to say. I was like, okay, seems fair. Okay. So then her client contacts me through text message after I've given my phone number and my email address. Then, you know, we're negotiating everything. And from the very beginning, her client is kind of rude. Like, he asks me how long I've had my bank account, if it's weeks, months, years. And I'm like, I tell him how long it's been. And then I'm like, why do you need to know that? He's like, I'm not asking for the date that you opened your account. I just want to know how long. I didn't even see that message at first. But I was just like, okay, whatever. And I was like, okay, that's fine. Like, you're not going to answer me. Maybe I'll ask it again. You know, so after a couple other back and forths, I ask him, he's like, and he says, I just want to see if I can send the money in one lump sum or if it has to be separated. I'm like, okay, that sounds, you know, like it makes sense. And so he emails me a check, okay? The back is already signed. I don't think about this. Like, it was a $750 check. I don't think about this. I just go along with it, you know? And like I said, not even paying attention to the fact that this check is already endorsed on the back. If I'm the one depositing the check, I should be the one to sign it, right? Okay. So, for some reason, my brain didn't calculate this. And I just put in the work to deposit the money. Then he sends me another $750 check, wash, rinse, repeat. And then a third one. Now, during our initial exchange, before any checks were issued, he tells me that if my bank says they're not going to send the, sorry about that. Sorry. I think my son is going to the bathroom. So if there's a cut in the video, it's because I had to pause so I could change him. Anyway, so during the exchange, he tells me, before we even deposit any checks, that if my bank says they have to put a hold to not deposit. So in the third one, this happens. So I send them, I'll put a timestamp that you can stop when he stops grunting if you're not comfortable with listening to a toddler grunt while he poops himself. So anyways, I was outside with him for about a half an hour earlier, so that's why my hair's kind of a mess, because it's 90 degrees outside and he was insistent that we go outside after his nap. So, which actually it seems like he might be done, so sorry if you had to hear that. It's over now. If it starts again, then I'll apologize. Anyway, so the third check, back to the story. The third check also, or, you know, tells me that they have to hold to verify the funds. So I sent him the screenshot as proof because, you know, I just was like, all right, he's wanting me to show him all the screenshots confirming the deposit, whatever, you know, so I'll show him this one. He then asks me what time I get up in the morning. And I'm like, okay, like 8 o'clock, which isn't necessarily true. That's just when I would be available. Like, I have a toddler, I have things to do in the morning. Like, I can't just like get online and do this, like, you know. And he asks me if I can get up at 4 a.m. You don't have to stay up or anything, just see if the funds went through. And then you can go back to bed. I'm like, no, we can just take care of it when I wake up. Like, I have a young child. I can't do that. I go to put my son down for a nap and walk my dog, because every day after I put my son down for a nap, I take the dog out to go potty. My wife is here for those few minutes while I take the dog to the dog park to go potty real quick, in case anything happens with our son. If she wasn't, I would take the alarm, because the dog park is like a football field away from my house. Like, that I've actually had to do it before, and I know that oh my god, why can I do words? I know that the signal reaches. You know, I can rush home if I needed to, but anyway, she's here to like watch the monitor and listen for him if he's gonna cry in those maximum 10 minutes that I'm gone. And so in that time, I leave my phone at home because I'm like, I don't need it, you know, like, whatever. And he's like, this scammer guy tells me that I need to set an alarm and show him a screenshot that I set my alarm. And I'm just like, this is very pushy. This is very weird. Like, things start clicking in my brain about how odd this shit is. And then I start doing a little research, find a video on TikTok of somebody else talking about the same exact thing happening to them. They get contacted about somebody wanting to paint a picture of them and then offering to pay them. Okay, total scam. Okay, I send the girl who, well, I say girl loosely, she had a female name, Susan. The video, okay? I say I know it's fraud. Her and her client start harassing me, saying that they're gonna, you know, take me to court and sue me if I don't give them their money, you know, scare tactics. Like, I know that they're full of crap, full of shit. And because at this point I know the jig's up, right? So I block them both on TikTok, text, email, everything, right? Just like, I know this is a scam, whatever. Like, the only message that I do send to them is the initial message is like, hey, I know this is a scam, so sorry, I'm not doing anything. And I you know, block them after I send those messages. A few days later, like about the time when the checks will post, I get a message from the girl. Okay, the name says Caitlin now, but all of the, I decided to center myself a little bit more, but all of the conversation that we had previously, the history is all there. So I know that it's the same person. She's like, you're a thief, you stole $1,500 from me, where's my $1,500? And I'm just like, I already contacted you telling you that I know this is fraud. Like, I think that, but in the message I send is like, I already know this is fraud, you know, like I've already contacted my bank because I had, and the checks already bounced because they did. There's no money, you know that. I didn't steal anything from you because there's no money. And they also sent another message saying, like, replying to the video that I sent them, like showing that I know it's a scam because of this video. This shit don't seem legit for real. Ma'am, it's just a video of somebody explaining that that this is a scam. What do you mean it doesn't seem legit? Why would somebody make that up? Like, what could they gain from that, right? Like, I don't reply to her because that's just the most ridiculous thing in the world. This don't seem like, what? But yeah, since then, they haven't said a word to me. He's been a little backed up. If you can hear the grunting again. So he's been struggling to get him out. But yeah, I just thought the audacity, after I already tell you that I know it's fraud, to ask me where the money is and call me like a piece of shit, basically, for stealing money from you that doesn't exist. It's ridiculous. So that's what's going on with that. So yeah, the shirt. Had to frog it, like I said, a bunch of times because I'm a perfectionist. My tension was off. It started to go like this because my tension got tighter as I went up. I would go through the wrong spot and it would get snagged. All kinds of shit. And then the night before last, my son, Grunty over here, wakes up at like 1 o'clock. And he's like, so he wakes up at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I feel like it's cold in his room because he has a ceiling fan on and then like one of those cylinder shaped like tower fans on. We always put both fans on, but set a timer for the tower fan so that, you know, it'll go off like halfway through the night. And then the sorry, he's like doing this and hitting me in my leg. Hi, honey. He so anyway, usually when he wakes up, because my wife works, so I'm usually the one that gets up with him. I'll usually, like, he has a rocking chair in his room, and I'll just rock him for a little bit and then put him back to bed, and he's good. And Saturday night, he did not go back to sleep. I was super tired, so I was like, I'll just bring him to our room, which I've done in the past. Put him in bed with us so he can sleep in our room, because then I know he'll go to sleep. He goes to sleep after, I swear, it was like an hour, maybe less, because the next thing that happens around 3 or 3:30 in the morning. he is sleeping at the foot of the bed. About 3:30, there's a thud. He fell off the bed. Okay. Our bed is about 3 feet off the ground. Like, it's a pretty tall bed. Like, it is like, it comes up to my waist if I stand up against it, and I'm 5'4". So he fell. Of course, he's fine. Like, he scared him more than anything. Like, he might have hurt his head, because he said that his head hurt when I asked him, like, are you okay? Are you hurt anywhere? He said his head hurt. So, but luckily he was okay. No signs of concussion, nothing. So probably just like a headache. So we gave him some ibuprofen, and he goes back to sleep after settling down from that. We end up sleeping until almost 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. We get up and we decide we're going to push his nap up, because he because, you know, he got up later than normal, so he decides he's not going to go back to sleep or go to sleep when we finally do I try to put him down for a nap. I start letting him cry for a few minutes, and then going in the room, giving him his lovies that he always throws out of his crib when he wakes up. Like, and he will not stop or go back to sleep until, that was just a book, until he gets you know, if he wakes up, he throws his lovies out of the crib, and he will not go back to sleep without those. So I go in the room the third or fourth time of this, starting with 1 minute, and then the next time 2 minutes between going in there and not. And then I get up all the way up to 6 minutes of repeating this. I go in there, and he's laying down but crying. I'm like, oh, probably shouldn't have went in there, because he might have just cried himself to sleep, which I hate to have him do. But, you know, maybe. And I think he definitely was successful in evacuating the tenants from his bowel. Anyway, so I'll finish the story real quick, and then I'll change him. He eventually, like, I decide, okay, I'm gonna get the baby monitor, and I'll just turn it on and check on him before I go in there next time. He's still crying. After this time, it's the 7-minute mark. But I turn on the monitor, check, he's lying down. Then I'm like, okay, I'll give him 8 minutes. Do the 8 minutes, turn on the monitor again. This time he's standing, and he's thrown he has 2 lovies and like super thin, like the swaddle blanket that he sleeps with. So I'm like, okay, if I rock you, will you go to sleep? He's like, yes. So I rock him until he's fully asleep. Put him in his crib. And then It's fine. Originally we're gonna have him sleep for an hour. My wife goes in to get him up after that hour. He sits up, like he was just crying for an hour straight, right? So he's pretty tired, but we're like, well, we want him to go to bed tonight. So we're gonna get him up. My wife goes in there, turns off his sound machine, tries to get him up. He immediately just lays down, goes back to sleep. So we're like, okay, another 20 minutes, that's fine. We'll let him sleep a little longer. Like, and yeah, he did. And then it was very fun to put him to bed that night because he was overly tired. And then last night, I drank caffeine too late into my day and could not fall asleep. So I'm on like 3.5 hours of sleep today because I was up for like 2.5 hours last night until I started yawning, and I was like, okay, I think I can try to go to bed. So that's how it goes. I'm gonna go change my son's diaper and like, comment, subscribe, share the video. Thanks so much. Bye. Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I am actually feeling better rested today with the 3.5 hours of sleep than I did the night when he had that other stuff happen where he fell off the bed and woke up because he was cold. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.